Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 6th and 7th grade award assembly. Faculty, parents, students, welcome. Almost there. This is the third of a number of closing ceremonies. Last night we graduated 129 seniors at the Strathmore Centre. It was a very joyful, wonderful occasion. Happily completed in an hour and 15 minutes, I will say. A lot of happy parents for that one. And then this morning we, I suppose, promoted 81 8th graders. Many of your friends this morning were promoted, and that too was a very joyous event. At all of these, and then tomorrow we've got the 9th through 11th grade, and then lower school too. At all these events, I have really noticed that there is a real focus on community. That the comments around the joy of the community, the coming together of community are so important here at Bullis. And I think it's true to say that community is something that is important when you coalesce around joy and celebration, as we are today at the end of the year. But also, authentically to be community, you coalesce around sadness and hurt and tragedy. And so, again, at the end of the year, I think it is just so important for all of us to acknowledge the hurt that certainly the Buckner family had to go under, the unbearable pain of losing Jackson on February 27th, and the pain that we all had to go through and continue to go through probably for the rest of our time here at Bullis and beyond. And now is the time to do that as a true illustration of community. It's not just about celebration. That's when you really need to come together. And this community did an amazingly beautiful job of that, and I'm extremely grateful. And we have to move on. I am going to ask the parents that are here. Actually, I won't ask you to stand. I won't put you on the spot, so to speak. But I do want to thank parents. I know we haven't got all our 6th and 7th grade parents here today, but I know that the faculty and Dr. Marino and I feel very grateful for the parents that we have, the support that we all feel. Obviously, you support your kids. That's your primary job of advocacy. But we feel truly supported, and we want to really thank you so very much. Thank you. And I know you parents, reciprocally, join me in thanking our amazing teachers. Yes, thank you. We are blessed to have extraordinary teachers at Bullis. I won't say especially in the middle school, but especially in the middle school. Incredible. I think it was really so very clearly illustrated with the trips, the 6th grade trip to Utah and to Arizona, and the 7th grade trip. Have we recovered yet? Actually, why am I asking that question? And the 7th grade trip to Florida. I think extraordinary trips, and I know that you all, the rising 8th graders who are in the room, are looking forward to Costa Rica next year. But the work that the teachers put in, the effort, the care, was just profound, and I'm really grateful. Thank you so very much. Okay, I've just looked through the booklet here of all the speeches, so I'm going to cut my remarks pretty short, but I have one last thing to say, and it's about next year. And I'm directing myself, yes, to parents, but more to you 6th and 7th graders, and I'm going to ask for some help. This is about when you return in August. As you know, I have done a very good job this year of not walking around with my phone, for the most part. There has been one or two blue and gold days. You may have heard from your parents that I recently wrote a letter saying that next year there are going to be some very severe restrictions on cell phone use. Now, I think you guys already do an incredible job in the middle school of not having your cell phones out very much at all. Next year it's going to be generally not allowed, and not just in the middle school, throughout the school and including in the upper school. I'm not doing it just to be mean. It's actually the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, and it's now being proven beyond a shadow of a doubt through the science on the massively negative impacts on young people, adolescents, and actually even adults too, around the addiction to social media and the addiction to cell phones. And parents, I'm addressing myself to you now, we are going to support you in this. We can't do it alone. How you operate at home around social media and cell phones is your business. But if you read the science, increasingly, it is so, so important. So students, please join us. It's not for my own good, honestly. So with that rather somber note, I am going to admonition to not use your social media and cell phones. That's a way to make myself popular. Not. I am going to hand over to our extraordinary Director of Middle School, Dr. Marino. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Good afternoon, 6th and 7th graders and parents. As we approach the end of another school year, I can't help but feel mixed emotions. On one hand, I'm excited for summer break and the fun adventures everyone's about to have. But on the other hand, saying goodbye to this school year is bittersweet. Why? Because we've had so many great experiences together. We've learned so many new concepts, we made history with our Discovery Day trips, and we've grown as individuals as well as community members. Before we leave for our summer break, though, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on some of the amazing things we've accomplished this year and celebrate our division's successes. The beginning of the year began, as always, with a welcome back letter, but instead of saying Bullis is mask optional, the welcome back to school letter said Bullis is mask friendly. Little by little, we became more and more comfortable shedding our masks due to the COVID virus that was finally better managed. As a result, schools slowly began to resemble pre-pandemic status. Field trip locations began to reopen. In-person showcases, concerts, adjudications were available again. And large community gatherings such as the Bullis Builds Engineering Challenge reappeared. The middle school division introduced the slogan, Be You, that came directly from the book entitled Be You by Peter H. Reynolds. The author celebrates individuality, persistence, and staying true to self. His quote, no matter where your journey leads you, be curious, be adventurous, be patient, be brave, but most of all, be comfortable. Being you was perfect for our division. We participated in a one-day versus our traditional two-day experiential education trip. Our Honor Code Assembly was held as a Bullis School community event again. The traditional middle school community cookout returned to celebrate homecoming as a division before joining the larger Bullis community at the football stadium. And our Halloween contest continued as well. Look at Mr. Kazmarski and Mr. Wong. The theater performance, The Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson the Musical, was phenomenal, clearly one of the most challenging productions to date. Even the scaffolding frameworks meticulously manipulated by the tech crew was impressive. Then it was time to prepare. Yes, prepare for our historic first Discovery Day trip. Teachers worked diligently to create an interdisciplinary curriculum that aligned to sites and exhibits. The outcome was terrific. In fact, guides and trip leaders commented on how impressed they were with your advanced levels of knowledge. We practiced lining up alphabetically without saying a word. We gathered in small groups silently to join leaders quickly, and we used hand gestures to let the group know when to stop and listen. Your parents signed many, many forms, and we had many, many discussions. We talked about appropriate attire, no holes in clothes, no bikinis, just tankinis. No, we said no bikinis, just tankinis. No crop tops. No, we said no crop tops. And closed-toe shoes. We talked about hygiene, medicine, self-care, and we took huge, and I mean huge, suitcases of sunscreen, hair conditioning, and shampoo. It was enough to protect the whole state of Maryland from UV rays. We were well protected, we looked good, and we smelled fresh. We were mindful explorers. Not only did we learn volumes, we had fun and truly enjoyed strengthening bonds while in unfamiliar territory. So yes, it's been a year. It's been a great year. A year of defining moments and historic firsts. A year that resembled aspects of our traditional normal, and a year that will never be forgotten. I could go on and on, but I'll stop there so we can recognize students that excelled academically and embodied the core values this school year. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Wong and Ms. White to the stage to present this year's Jerry May Achievement Award.
As the 6th and 7th grade level chairs, it is our pleasure to present the Jerry May Achievement Award, which is named after one of Bullis's beloved community members.
Jerry May was a self-proclaimed jack of all trades. In the fall of 1961, he began his career at Bullis as a history and biology teacher, as well as a coach for football, baseball, and basketball. In 1971, when the school moved from Silver Spring to Potomac, Mr. May became the middle school athletic director, followed by the dean of discipline, then middle school principal, and finally ended his career as director of alumni.
Jerry May was truly an invaluable member of the Bullis community throughout his 37 years of service and beyond. He touched the lives of so many with his unwavering encouragement, support, and guidance. It is an honor to recognize middle school students who are deserving of an award in Mr. May's namesake.
The Jerry May Achievement Award recognizes outstanding performance during the course of a student's year in middle school. This prize represents the innermost values of working hard to improve, collaborating with classmates, thinking independently, and persevering even when the task can seem much too arduous. The recipients are decided by a consensus of all faculty members. This year's selected students embody the hardworking spirit of this award.
On behalf of the 6th grade teachers, I'm honored to present the Jerry May Award to a 6th grader who has been a valuable asset to our Bullis community. This student approaches each day with positivity, passion, and perseverance. Mr. Hager and Ms. Donegan both speak to the student's positivity and attitude, saying, "She always displays a positive attitude, exhibits excellent citizenship, and her smile is contagious." Ms. Bias and Ms. Clossy both note her tremendous growth towards independence this year and her awesome work ethic and effort. Ms. Demers acknowledges this student's thoughtful, creative values always show up in her work. Ms. Anzalone also shouts out this student's cheery, kind, and respectful demeanor, as seen with her enthusiastic good mornings. It is our privilege to award Talia Proper, the 2022-2023 recipient of the Jerry May Award for 6th grade. Congratulations.
On behalf of the 7th grade teachers, it is with great pleasure that I present this year's award recipient. Some words that come to every teacher's mind when describing this student are caring, respectful, and always willing to take risks. Mrs. Forrest shared that this student always comes to class with a smile and takes the time each day to ask how I am doing. They are determined to succeed, are an avid participant, and are not afraid to ask for help or clarification. Mr. Horsey echoes these thoughts and adds, "This student brings joy to every class with their witty humor and timely puns." Mrs. King enjoyed working with our recipient on this year's musical. She said they came in totally new to the process and really embraced the opportunity, and we can't wait to see how they grow on stage. Ms. McFall sums up our feelings on this student. He is a Bullis treasure and absolutely one of a kind in every possible good way. It is our privilege to congratulate Dean Farson on receiving this year's Jerry May Award for 7th grade. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Moreno back to the podium to present this year's Head of Middle School Awards.
All right, the Head of Middle School Award recognizes a student in 6th and 7th grade that makes a positive contribution to the middle school division. Although the award is listed as the Head of the Middle School Award, it is an award that is decided by many faculty members after much consideration, discussion, and consensus. The first 6th grade recipient is a student that gets along well with everyone. This student maintains high honor roll status, proving over and over to be a self-starter. In fact, teachers not only speak to his achievement efforts, they talk about the level of respect he shows adults on a daily basis. Ms. Gerhardt and Ms. Bias comment on how his kindness is contagious. And Mr. Hager is in awe of his display of confidence, determination, and leadership in both the classroom and the soccer field. You can't ask for more than that, Adam Farber. You are the 6th grade. When I ask faculty members about this year's 7th grade recipient, the response is also very consistent. Every teacher begins sharing stories about the student's kindness and wonderful spirit. They speak to the student's seriousness of purpose, as well as the ability to embody Bullis's core values. Mrs. Huff talks about her quiet leadership. Mrs. McFall is more than certain we're looking at a future doctor or genetic engineer. And Ms. Felt believes this is one of the most sincere students she's ever taught, wise and mature. I certainly agree with that. In fact, I had a wonderful conversation with this student when I talked to a group of girls about uplifting one another and being in each other's corner. I asked students to summarize my comments to understand how they internalized my message. Lillian smiled when it was her turn and said, Lillian smiled at me when it was her turn and said, at this age, I think what you're saying is, it's sisters over misters. That pretty much summed up my comments. Lillian, congratulations. At this time, I welcome Mr. Sullivan back to the stage.
So I have the pleasure of awarding the prizes for general excellence in studies. This is essentially a synonym for the valedictorian in both the 6th and 7th grade, the student with the highest GPA in either grade. Please don't take the brevity of my citation for each of these awards as a reflection on the student. It's more to do with me just wanting to be concise. The first student is the general prize for excellence in the 6th grade, goes to a student who the teachers across the board acknowledge is a fantastic academic student, but beyond that, an even nicer person. And how important is that? I mean, I think that really just says it all. Yes, they're collaborative, they're very academic, but they actually want to help other people as much as they want to do well for themselves. And the 6th grade recipient this year is Viet Pham. I think this seems to be a theme because the 7th grade teachers are saying essentially the same for this wonderful student. Miss McFall comments, an insatiable sense of curiosity and wonder, a commitment to friendships, a strong sense of self. Academically, very, very strong, but always helping classmates improve in such a kind and humble way. The Excellence Award goes to Gabrielle Wigan. Congrats. And now we move on to the awards for outstanding achievement in studies, and please join me in welcoming Mr. Charles Johnson to present this year's Choral Music Awards.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am very pleased to present the 6th grade choir award to Max Kaiser. Now, Max Kaiser came to choir class already having a strong knowledge of reading music and a solid sense of pitch, and this made him a valuable asset to the choir program. But Max wins the choir award not just for his prior musical knowledge, but also for his diligence. In every aspect of the class, Max wanted to do well. Max wanted to improve. Max always demonstrated that he wanted to do his best. And this drive makes Max such an ideal student, it simply makes the teacher's job so much easier. I am thankful to Max. I'm thankful that Max was a part of our choir program this year, and I'm looking forward to working with him again next year. So for the 7th grade choir award. So during parent-teacher conferences, I joked with the parents of this next award recipient that I felt that this 7th grader was purposefully aiming for the 7th grade choir award this year. There were so many statements like announcing to the rest of the choir, hey guys, you know, we can also do smart music to practice our performance pieces when it's not assigned as homework. He would also point out to me that if I put an assignment in Smart Music twice, it allowed the students to practice the piece more often than just having to have the homework submissions. Now, I will say that this student is not receiving the choir award because of these statements. Well, not only because of these statements, but because there was also follow-through from this student, especially this year. This student wanted to do well, and they wanted the rest of the choir to do well also. They actually did practice their parts, and they were very active in helping others in their sections to not only get their parts right, but to also sing with energy and gusto. There were definitely times where I saw the student trying to hype up their section. I didn't just hear this choir student making the, quote, right comments. I saw this student actively trying to be the best choir member he could be, and the choir as a whole was better for it. That is why I'm pleased to present the 7th grade award to Ryan Hayes. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Chin to present this year's Dance Awards.
Okay. I'll be presenting the 6th grade dance award first, and the award will go to Grace Reese. She consistently arrives to class with a positive attitude, focus, and ready to tackle any dance assignment without complaint. And watching her dance, you can feel the joy she possesses towards the arts. She has also been a kind team player, knowing when to contribute ideas, but also knowing when to listen and take direction. Grace has been a pleasure to have in class this year, and there's no doubt in my mind that she is the future of dance here at Bullis. The cherry on top is that she also happens to be a talented and phenomenal dancer. Congratulations, Grace. Now for the 7th grade award, which is my biggest and most spirited class. There are many talented dancers in here, but when choosing this award, I really was thinking about work ethic and who has improved, striving to improve over the year. This next dancer is often the first one in class. She arrives and immediately begins warming up and reviewing choreography. Already as a 7th grader, she exhibits signs of a serious dancer, focused and committed to her dance studies. I have witnessed this dancer put so much emotion and thought into her dance assignments. It has been exciting to watch her growth over this school year. She has been an exemplary dance student and deserving of this award. Congratulations, Taylor Mills. Please join me. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Bogart to present this year's Instrumental Music 6 Award.
Good afternoon. The recipient of the 6th grade instrumental award is a student who started their instrument, the saxophone, this year. It is very difficult to start a new instrument in a new school and play with students who have been playing for many years. This student quickly jumped into playing by coming to each rehearsal with a positive attitude and willingness to learn. The first sounds on a new instrument can be a lot to work through, from sounding a bit like a duck at first to figuring out which of the 22 keys to press. There are many things to handle. This student navigated this process beautifully and was able to successfully perform a solo, Eine kleine Nachtmusik, during our private lesson recitals. He was even able to make significant progress despite splitting his class time with an upper school language class as well. It is clear that this year's award winner approaches all of his academic work with the same consistency and dedication, as I know he is also a standout student in all of his classes. I look forward to seeing his continued progress on the saxophone. Please join me in congratulating Robert on winning the 6th grade instrumental award. And I will also be presenting the 7th grade award on behalf of Ms. Mayer Satin. This year's 7th grade award winner has demonstrated excellence in both the Bullis Middle School and Upper School Orchestra performances and aided the Upper School Orchestra in earning a superior rating at State Orchestra Festival. Beyond Bullis School, this student performs in the Montgomery County Youth Orchestra and orchestra camps in the summer. Individually, he earned superior ratings for his bass solos both last year and this year. He is an outstanding musician and is always prepared for rehearsals and concerts. I would like to congratulate Franklin Bess as the 2023 7th grade instrumental award recipient. Congratulations, instrumental award winners. And please join me in welcoming Ms. King to present this year's theater awards.
This year's 6th grade class had several amazing standout performers who really impressed me with their willingness to just jump in and try everything that I threw at them, which is a lot. It made choosing just one person really difficult, but watching the love of theater grow in a student from 5th grade to the end of this year has been such an amazing experience for me as a teacher. He embraced the titular character in the beginning of the year play and truly terrified his peers at the angriest teacher in our final performance. I really can't wait to see his spark turn into a flame over the next several years. Congratulations, Jack Katz, for being this year's 6th grade theater award winner. This year's 7th grade theater class was once again full of characters who displayed their own comedic talents with an audience recently. I'm so proud of the growth of many of the students who have, that have shown, especially from last year's 6th grade class to this year's. One student, however, has stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight in a wonderful way, embracing everything that Greek, Japanese, and Italian theater had to offer her this year. The continuing to build on the knowledge she had last year, the student's passion for theater is a well-known fact around campus. One thing I've noticed about this performer is that she will take things she learns in class and apply them to her performances in the musical and vice versa, making my job as a director and a teacher a little bit easier. I look forward to digging into the student's potential next year in acting majors. I'm pleased to award Anastasia Swift with the 7th Grade Theater Award this year. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Donegan to present this year's Visual Art Awards.
I had a really hard time choosing the 6th grade award winner this year. I saw so much creativity from each of you and really enjoyed watching you grow and gain confidence in your art making. All that said, I would like to recognize Cy Stein for his Cy Stein shows intrinsic ambition, a growth mindset, and consistently high craftsmanship. During the fall, when I taught Cy, he came to class every day with a positive attitude, ready to learn, grow, and put in the work. Cy is all in everything he does. He was never content to spend the bare 20 minutes on his sketchbook assignments and instead spent hours carefully sketching to make his work as strong as possible. By the way, this speech is in your book, just in case you're not hearing it. During our typography sculpture unit, he designed a very ambitious sculpture and ended up having to come in for many study halls to bring it to life, but he never let the quality of his work slide. I've always been so impressed with Cy's growth, and I'm excited to see what he makes next year in Art 7. Congratulations. The winner of the 7th grade art award goes to Lucy Laurie. Lucy, take your time. In the winter, I had the pleasure of working with Lucy in both Art 7 as well as Open Studio. Of all the things Lucy made this year, I think the thing she was most proud of was her flowering panda sculpture. While creating a gigantic panda out of clay might seem like an easy task, I can assure you the persistence and effort it required might have made others give up. But not Lucy. Lucy showed up every day ready to work and overcome obstacles. Whenever she faced something she was unsure how to approach, she experimented, researched, and practiced until she was happy with the results. Lucy showed the same drive and work ethic in each of her projects. In the studio, Lucy is a kind classmate, always seeking out others to lift them up and offer insightful feedback. She independently comes up with creative ideas and shows grit and critical thinking. I am so proud of what she's done this year, and I'm excited to see what she does next year. Congratulations. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Gearhart to present this year's Technology Awards.
So I like to take the suspense out early. So, Tommy Olson, you are you are the 6th grade Technology Award winner this year, and I just want you to know I've so very much enjoyed getting to know you. Your passion for technology comes through in everything you do. For the animation project you created, it's hard for me to describe this, but a dark, humored story about an astronaut whose mission control center is bent on destroying the space station that the astronaut is in, and the astronaut escapes, and the whole thing, I don't know, it was the longest one that probably anybody had ever made, and it was both funny and amazing and interesting. You love to create elaborate Scratch, which is coding for those of you who don't know, projects, which are not only artistically elaborate, but also technically elaborate. Tommy, you always give it your all. You impress your classmates with the results of your work. You have a great sense of humor and an immense dedication to what you do. And I really look forward to seeing you in 7th grade. Congratulations, Tommy. And now I'd like to present myself to give the 7th grade awards. So, again, no suspense. Summer Altman, come on up. Your active engagement in technology has really been great the last couple of years. From your animation about black widow spiders in 6th grade to your Scratch, which again is coding, and Makey Makey projects, which is an extension of controlling your computer from outside. Your personality and your determination shine through in everything you do. You've proven yourself as a leader in the class, helping other students who look to you for advice on their work. In both 6th and 7th grades, you joined the robotics club, in which you were always outnumbered by boys, but you held your own and proved yourself to be a strong and creative coder and a great builder of robots. Also, you turned out to be the director of entertainment when we just needed a break from playing and messing with robots. So that was great, coming up with great movie ideas to watch and other things. So congratulations, Summer. Thank you. And now I'd like to present Ms. Shui Ying Clark to present the Chinese 7 Award.
So I'm going to present the 6th grade award first. This year, my middle school Chinese class have 14 students, and it's interesting to note that among them are 6 students whose siblings are teaching upper school. I'm grateful for the support of these families for the Chinese program. One of the 6th grade students stands out not only for his motivation, diligence, and enthusiasm in learning Chinese, but also for his humility and kindness towards others. The students consistently show up to class ready to learn, starting on the daily warm-up without any reminders, and often working ahead. As a beginner learner, he has shown a great talent in identifying Chinese characters with ease and high accuracy. In addition, he has a great ear for the sound of the 4 tones in Chinese, and his pronunciation is spot on. It's a joy for me to listen to him practice speaking Chinese with his peers. With great pleasure, I'm thrilled to announce that Michael Mori is the 6th grader Chinese Award. Next, I'm going to present 7th grade Chinese Award. I still recall the first time I met this award winner back in September, a little nervous and uncertain student in her first year at Bullis. However, I'm confident that if I were to ask her now, she would tell me how she has grown, made friends, learned so much from all her classes, and developed a great fondness of her teacher and school. Witnessing her growth has been a privilege for me, and I'm proud of her outstanding performance through perseverance and hard work. This student has shown us how to work collaboratively, efficiently, and productively, as evidenced by her remarkable creativity in producing the stop-motion animation that wowed the entire class, and her unbeatable performance in the Blue Kid vocabulary game. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude for her representation of middle school during the Asian, Pacific, Indian, and Desi Assembly, and for showcase part of her Chinese heritage. With great pleasure, I'm delighted to announce that this year's 7th grade Chinese Award goes to Jackie Leach. And I want to thank for Miss Ye, Jackie's mom, who come to our class and help us wrapping dumplings together. That was a great experience. Congratulations, Jackie. Now please welcome and join me to Ms. Dimmers to present this year's French Award.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Clark. Impossible n'est pas français. This French proverb implies that since impossible is not a French word, then nothing is impossible. In other words, there is no such thing as can't. This year's French Award recipient exemplifies this notion. Throughout the year, she has consistently demonstrated diligence, curiosity, and a respect for learning about the French language and culture, all while also learning English as a second language. Further, this student continually engages in honest self-reflection and demonstrates persistence in furthering her growth in all 3 modes of communication in the target language. Her willingness to take risks, accept and apply feedback, all with a positive attitude and commitment to do our best, is what learning is all about. Not to mention, she brings me treats that she bakes at home. Reika, felicitations on this well-earned award, and thank you for being an inspiration for us all. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Wood to present this year's Latin Awards.
Salvete omnes! So much better than the 8th grade ceremony. You noticed that one the other day? Good job, y'all. As a world language teacher, one of the most exciting parts of my job is seeing the growth that absolute beginners exhibit from the start of the year to now. The 6th graders in our Latin 1A class started off with simple words and phrases such as the ever popular "fufai," the Latin word for gross, ew. Good job. And gradually worked their way up to whole novellas, culminating in an exploration of chariot racing in ancient Lusitania, or modern-day Portugal. The sheer excitement every day that each of you brought was refreshing and allowed us to investigate ancient Mediterranean cultures even further. It was always a highlight of my day. Gratias vobis agro. Today, I am honored to name this year's Latin Award recipient for the 6th grade, who is the embodiment of such passion. This individual is someone who is unashamed to be themselves, to try their very best at all times, and ultimately have fun with the language. I remember when I met them in 5th grade when they visited my class last year, and I knew they were hooked. Since then, I've continued to be impressed by their desire to ask deeper questions, to seek out more opportunities to learn more, and to somehow say, "Salve," in the exact same way every time without fail. And even to write stories in their own free time in Latin, usually about their fluffy friend Clifford. Dia Mortales et Mirabile Dictu, Jonah Keller. Congratulations, and please enjoy your own box of graphic novels, The Olympians by George O'Connor. This year, the 7th grade Latin students either started the language in level 1A or continued the language in 1B. I want to give a big shout out to my 7th grade 1A students who tried something new this year, and I can tell that you love the experience. I can't wait to see you level up your linguistic journeys next year. For my 1B students, we explored all over the Mediterranean world via mythological stories, from Polyphemus, the formerly one-eyed Cyclops on the island Sicily, to the Titan Prometheus on the Caucasus Mountains in modern-day Armenia and Azerbaijan, and even to Pluto or Hades deep down in the Greek underworld. Spooky. Today, it is my pleasure to name this year's Latin Award recipient for the 7th grade. This individual is someone who is clearly all in. They are always asking for more to read, more to do, and are never satisfied with the bare minimum in a project. Last year, we saw them bake a monster. This year, we saw them make an entire family of monsters from Starbucks drinks, affectionately known as the Stardashians. This student has even perfected the art of the tua mater joke in Latin, as I am frequently reminded by the graffiti left on my whiteboard. I'd like to think that ancient Pompeians would be proud of you continuing their tradition. Ultimately, I continue to be impressed with you, and I'm excited to see what you'll do in Latin 2 next year. Dia Mortales et Mirabile Dictu, live white. Congratulations, and please enjoy your own copy of Harrius Potter. Now, please join me in welcoming Senora Velikovsky to present this year's Spanish 6 award.
Buenas tardes, bienvenidos. I've had the pleasure of teaching at Bullis for 15 years now, facilitating students' language acquisition and unveiling the diverse culture of Spanish-speaking countries. Taking a world language is one of the many great things you have at Bullis, and I'm glad to see you taking advantage of that. When you can speak another language, you are a step closer to becoming a world citizen, to be well equipped to understand other people's cultures. to see life through different lenses. Numerous students in my 6th grade class have shown dedication and a great interest in learning and becoming Spanish speakers. This year, award recipient, however, comes to class with a big smile and stands out for her positive attitude, her active engagement in class, and her genuine desire to get better every day. This student is curious about culture and possesses an inquisitive mind. Some of the qualities that I admire the most in her are her self-discipline and generosity. Her language performance shows she studies and practices consistently, and she's always happy to help other students in class. On top of those great qualities, she shows excellence in her work and often goes the extra mile. I'd like to invite Elle Porter to the stage to receive the 2023 6th grade Spanish Award. Elle, I'm very proud of your accomplishments, and I have no doubt that your hard work will lead you to many more successes in the future. Thank you. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Mastin to present this year's Spanish 7 award. Thank you.
It is my honor to celebrate and recognize a remarkable young man who has not only excelled in the study of Spanish this year, but has also demonstrated exceptional kindness, creativity, and unwavering thoughtfulness during our class time together. From day one, this student has truly shown an amazing talent for the Spanish language. Their dedication and enthusiasm have been evident in all they do, whether we are learning about different verb tenses or discussing pirates' various strategies to sink their enemies' ships. Throughout the duration of this year, the student embraced the challenges of learning a new language with a positive attitude, always willing to take risks when speaking and writing with grace and humor. In addition to their linguistic proficiency, this student has consistently proven to be an outstanding member of the Bullis community. They only act with kindness and consideration towards their classmates and are always offering to support and help others in their learning journey. This student's patience and willingness to assist and collaborate with their peers has created an inclusive atmosphere within our Spanish classroom. This student has also shown a deep level of thoughtfulness and creativity in their interactions and contributions. Often waiting until everyone else has shared their thoughts, this student always engages in class discussions, posing insightful questions and making meaningful connections to real-life situations. On our Discovery Days trip, this student read and translated an entire informative Spanish sign about shipwrecks and related them to the book we were reading in class. This student is an exceptional individual who embodies all the qualities we value not only in the Spanish classroom, but in the community in general. Their language talents, kindness, creativity, and thoughtfulness uplift those around them on a daily basis. I am proud to honor Sydney Kendall with the 7th grade Spanish Award. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Hager to present this year's Geography Award and World Cultures Award.
Good afternoon. Hello. That was a delayed response. You guys all right? The sixth grade Geography and World Cultures course is predicated on project-based learning paradigms such as in-class simulations, mock trials, and creating one's own government. The skills I look to foster are creativity, curiosity, collaboration, critical thinking, time management, and research-based evidence. Our Geography and World Cultures course was tailor-made for this student. This student is Will Olson. Will took it to the next level. Will was duplicitous in playing the role of a governor general of the breakaway Republic of Biafra in southeastern Nigeria, while simultaneously playing the role of the president of Nigeria. In other simulations, Will portrayed a prosecuting attorney during our Christopher Columbus mock trial. He also played the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan during a different game of peace. He showed no mercy to any other country. Will also presented beautifully to our class on Grenada, highlighting the United States invasion of the Caribbean island nation in October of 1983. For our Create Your Own Utopian Society project, Will constructed a 3-tier government system entitled Kingdom of the Strait, which highlighted his diligent work ethic and precision to detail. He constructed his own laws, his country's own national anthem, the country's geography, and even a pandemic protocol for all of its citizens. Finally, Will sat on the General Assembly at our Bullis Middle School Model United Nations team, representing the United States as a delegate on the topic of militarization of space at the January 2023 Frederick High School Model United Nations Conference. I will miss having Will in Geography and World Cultures next year, but I do look forward to seeing him as a 7th grader as he returns to be a delegate for the Bullis Model UN team. It gives me great pleasure to present the award for Outstanding Achievement in Geography and World Cultures to Will Olson. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Horsey to present this year's Ancient History Award.
May I have Ethan Mills to the stage, please? Whether reading a segment of Hammurabi's Law Code, defending their side in the Athens versus Sparta debate, or simply listing the characteristics of the Roman political system, this student approaches their work, well, we know it's Ethan, approaches their work with enthusiasm, general interest, and glee. For them, history is more than memorizing facts and timelines. It is the appreciation of human accomplishments from the past and recognition of potential in themselves and their peers. Throughout the year, Ethan has created outstanding work, including a creative and informative animated map of West African empires, analyzed multiple documents to determine their credibility, used evidence to support a claim in a thesis statement more than 40 times, and used exemplary research skills to gather information to construct an informative essay that compared 2 ancient civilizations that we studied this year, and I'm pretty sure he's glad it's over. It has been a pleasure working with Ethan this year. His enthusiasm is contagious, work ethic is admirable, and thirst for knowledge is insatiable. It is my pleasure to award the 2023 Ancient History Award to Ethan Mills. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Demers to present this year's Language Arts 6 Award.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so in Language Arts 6 this year, students picked one word to define their goals, dreams, ambitions, and who they want to be in the new year. Julieta Romero, this year's award recipient, chose honest to goodness as her one-word intention for 2023. She explained that her focus was to be loyal to myself and others, accepting my mistakes while evolving to be better, saying the truth, be as me as I can, and I won't change who I am at any cost. Julieta clearly has taken her intention to heart this year. In our class, we often discuss the human condition, including the complexities of relationships and the role community and society play in defining our identity and our place in this world. I can always count on Julieta to engage in thoughtful conversations about life and all of the challenges and celebrations it brings us. She is always willing to open her heart and mind to others' perspectives, while at the same time staying true to her own sense of self and personal values. Julieta's genuine empathy and kindness towards others was clear from the beginning. For instance, in her book review, she addressed the important themes of self-acceptance and kindness as depicted in Lisa Flipp's realistic fiction novel Starfish. She noted that making assumptions about others because of their race, size, or beliefs is really hurtful. It might make the person feel that there's something wrong with them and that they should change, even if it is not the case. She also said that she learned that you should love yourself and your body no matter what, because we are all awesome. Julieta, thank you for reminding us that we are all connected to each other as we navigate the peaks and valleys of life. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition for all you have contributed to our year in language arts. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Felt to present this year's Language Arts 7 Award.
Again, I'm not one for suspense. Ruby Fishkind. Ruby, I can only imagine why your parents named you after the fabulous, inflamed, large and magical, magnificent and hypnotic gemstone. For those who don't know, a ruby is a transparent red-colored gemstone. Well, just like this vibrant and shiny gem, you exude transparency of your excitement for language arts, bouncing into class during our journalism unit, or bubbling over with enthusiasm for color-coding reading annotations. Rubies are one of the most well-known gemstones in the world, just as I know that you will one day have your name in capital letters across a company's website or in an autograph for a budding fan. Rubies are classified as precious gemstones with a high commercial value, similar to the contributions that you will make and have made to our class discussions, to our literary analysis, and to our book clubs. Rubies can decorate an earlobe with a splash of crimson or a clasp of sunshine around the neckline, but this Ruby Fishkind is going to decorate the world with her own writing that will sparkle and shine brighter than any piece of jewelry out there. And finally, rubies are considered quite rare and valuable, just as I cannot quantify your contributions to the energy and passion you put forth during every daily activity in language arts. Please join me in congratulating Ruby again for receiving the 2023 Language Arts Award. And join me in welcoming Ms. Bias to present this year's Math 6 Award.
This year's 6th grade Math Award recipient is a bright, hardworking, self-motivated, and conscientious student who is always polite and respectful to their peers and teachers. This person is kind and caring of all students encountered, whether or not they are a part of their friend group. Although quiet and reserved, it is not to the point that questions are not asked for clarification. This student's persistence in learning also stands out, and when they seek out feedback, they never give up. This student is very diligent and self-advocates when they are unsure, and one who has their own excellent abilities setting goals and being persistent in achieving them. This student perseveres through difficult problems and checks their work each time, seizing every opportunity to fine-tune their skills. They are an intuitive, thinker who perseveres, but also recognizes when to seek out help. The resilience the student displays when faced with challenging problems is commendable. The attention to the detail and desire to understand the material is honorable, making them an exceptional example for their peers. They have a wonderful attitude towards mathematics and are very conscientious about their performance. This student is the epitome of a dedicated student. Their dedication to faithfully completing all assignments with the utmost care and accuracy as possible, even when they are absent, is a true reflection of their character. This student is always kind and friendly to their classmates and willing to work with any group, never letting their surroundings distract them. The student's willingness to work until they understand and that they are reflective about their learning has earned them the admiration of their teachers. In the beginning of the year, this student was a little apprehensive about math and seemed to lack confidence. However, I was able to watch as the student has gone through a metamorphosis, coming out of their shell, embracing their wings, and now ready to soar. It has been a true pleasure to teach this student and witness this change. Please join me in congratulating this year's Math Award recipient, Chloe Buckles. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Forrest to present this year's Math 7 Award.
Today we gather to recognize and celebrate an exceptional student. She is bright, animated, and conscientious. She approaches challenges with a smile on her face that continues to be contagious throughout the classroom. I greatly appreciate and enjoy the sense of humor that she brings to class each day. Her journey in math this year is not just a testament to her academic accomplishments, but a shining example of the power of hard work, perseverance, and a solid commitment to succeed. Math has not always come easy to her, but instead of allowing that to discourage her, she has embraced the challenge with unwavering determination. Inside the classroom, she is the embodiment of dedication and diligence. She listens attentively, takes meticulous notes, and engages actively in class discussions. I have witnessed firsthand her hunger for knowledge as she consistently seeks to deepen her understanding of mathematical concepts. But her dedication doesn't stop there. She understands that success requires going the extra mile, so she spends countless hours in study hall seeking additional support and guidance, never hesitating to ask clarifying questions or seek explanations when she encounters difficulties. And today we honor her for her incredible strides she has made in math this year. Her commitment, effort, and determination have resulted in remarkable achievements that I am so proud of. But this award is not just to recognize her mathematical prowess. It is a celebration of her character. It's a testament of her resilience, discipline, and perseverance. It highlights her steady belief in herself and her commitment to her goals. As we applaud her achievements, let us remember an invaluable lesson that she teaches all of us. Success is not determined by how naturally gifted we are or how easily things come to us. It is a reflection of the effort of determination and tenacity we put forth in pursuit of our goals. It is about embracing challenges, seeking help when needed, and never giving up. Abrielle Wiggin, we congratulate you on this well-deserved award. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Koloski to present this year's Science 6 Award.
Good afternoon, everyone. To be honest, just choosing one student for the 6th grade award was incredibly difficult. You all worked hard, pushed yourselves, and learned a lot along the way. I went in search of a quote to try and encapsulate this year's recipient, and for my 6th graders, this is from Dwayne "The Rock," geology, Johnson. Success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get a little better than the day before, and it all adds up. This epitomizes the attitude and behaviors of the award winner this entire school year. This student came to class every day with a positive attitude and lots of enthusiasm. They started the year out not feeling incredibly strong in science, but no matter what, they approached each lab, lesson, and activity with a positive outlook and a desire to learn. That energy showed in their quality of work and their sense of humor, always looking for a science pun, meme, or joke to make us all laugh. Some of my favorites I have in a notebook in my backpack in my classroom right now. Motivation was the name of the game for this student. They wanted to do well academically, so they made it happen. It wasn't overnight and it wasn't easy, but nevertheless, they persisted. I think I might have, okay. They didn't stop at the easy answer, but pushed to have a deeper understanding of the structure of the universe, or their geologic rock formation, or plate boundaries, just to name a couple. Above all else, in my eyes, this student exemplified collaboration and kindness with their peers. I could confidently put this student in any group or pairing, and they would bring the same level of consideration and kindness each time. Science is a collaborative content area that requires a skilled team player who approaches every interaction with understanding. I found throughout the year this student in particular showed a level of compassion that was truly commendable, an understanding of others' differences, and a willingness to get to know everyone shone through. Without further ado, please help me congratulate this year's 6th grade Science Award recipient, who is going to be very surprised, Emma Pryor. Please join me in welcoming Ms. McFall to present this year's Science 7 Award.
It has been said that true education comes from a passion for learning. This year's 7th grade Science Award winner has been passionate about science since the first days of the school year, when I found her waiting for me outside my classroom one morning before school started, when she didn't even have my class first thing in the morning. This student was so excited to share with me the passion she felt about an Odyssey of the Mind project that she'd done at her former school, where she built a light device to hold a massive weight. The spark I saw in that student's eyes that morning has grown to an inferno of curiosity and wonder that has extended beyond the classroom this year. She often comes excited to class saying things like, "Mrs. McFall, I have to tell you about this thing I found out about called golden blood," or "I'm going to figure out the O bloodline in my family." And when we were preparing for our trip to the Florida Keys, we were lucky to have a marine biologist, who is the father of one of our current 7th graders, come in to educate us about fish adaptations. It was this student who immediately volunteered to cut open the mudfish's stomach because it was clearly evident that we could analyze what it had last eaten. The video clip I have of her doing this and finding a sea robin inside the stomach is the definition of pure joy, giddiness, and excitement of discovery. I will end this with the student's own words written to me in an email during her spring break. "This whole week I've been snorkeling surrounded by schools of fish and lots of different types of corals. Yesterday I spotted a turtle in the water and was able to identify it as a hawksbill turtle. Thank you, Mrs. McFall, because if you didn't teach me about the reef system and the animals in the ocean, I would not have been able to appreciate my experience in the coral reef and be able to show off my knowledge to my siblings." It is now my turn to thank this year's Science Award recipient, Margot Guilino, for her extraordinary passion for learning. Before I share my closing remarks, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the life of a beloved community member who left us way too soon. Jackson Buckner, as was mentioned earlier, was a bright and kind student who touched the lives of everyone he met. Although he was only at Bullis for 6 short months, his impact was immeasurable. We remember his smile and his laughter, his curiosity and his enthusiasm. We remember his love for learning and his eagerness to explore new ideas.
and we cherish every moment we spent with him. We will honor his memory by continuing to live our lives with the same kindness and compassion he showed us, and we will strive to be the best version of ourselves as we remember his legacy and carry it with us always. Jackson, you will always be remembered with love and gratitude. So I would like to ask Mr. Kazmarski to come. He has an announcement, and then after that, I will say my closing remarks.
I have 10 more awards to give out. But what I do have here to come to say is that I am somehow the yearbook liaison for this year. The message is everyone will get a yearbook, but at this point, because of a shipment issue, one family member in this moment will get a yearbook. But we promise you, you all will get a yearbook. So how we're going to work this through is if you have a sibling in lower school or a sibling in upper school, you will not be getting your yearbook today. If you here with us, thank you for being here, you will get your yearbook today. If you have just a sibling with you in middle school and no other division, one of you will be getting it today, okay? The goal is you all get one though. So a lot of you noticed I was in the Blair lobby putting a lot of yearbooks down with Miss Donegan and Miss King. Thank you very much. They're laid out. Your school photo or name is in it. That is the representative of the family who will pick it up and take it with them. If you do not see your picture or name, that means it's not here yet. Okay? So I will see you in the lobby after this is all over. If you don't see your name, it's not here yet. It will be soon. If it is there, please close it up and take it with you and check in with me. Thank you very much.
Can we give our award recipients one last round of applause? I'd like to end today's assembly by thanking the families. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan, for doing that earlier. He also acknowledged the teachers. Thank you so much, teachers, for a wonderful year. Marcy Deemers, if you could stand for a moment. Is she in here? She's over there. Mrs. Deemers is returning, but she's going to have a new role. She is going to actually become our teaching and learning librarian. So you'll hear more about her position later, but she's going to enhance the culture of reading and research to our instructional program. So congratulations, Ms. Deemers. All right, so students, over the summer, remember to read books, tackle math problems, and apply the core values. Use technology in positive ways. Use technology in positive ways. Use technology in positive ways to shape your communications with family and friends. Relax, stay safe, be healthy, and above all, be comfortable being you. I look forward to seeing you next school year. Students, if you received an achievement award this afternoon, please come to the front of the stage when I dismiss your section so that you can take a group picture. Parents